Bazooka Charlie, the teacher from Moline who changed World War II. Bazooka Charlie didn't look like a war hero. He didn't fly a fighter. He didn't lead squadrons of bombers. He piloted a tiny fabric-covered observation plane, a Piper L-4 Grasshopper, barely faster than a car, unarmed, and meant only for spotting enemy positions. And yet, German tank crews learned to fear him. His name was Charles Carpenter. He was born in rural Illinois and raised on a farm near Edgington. One of 6 children, he grew up with discipline, responsibility, and a strong sense of duty. He earned a scholarship to Center College in Kentucky, studied history, and became a teacher. Before the war, he taught at Moline High School. He married his wife, Elda, and started a family. By every measure, his life was ordinary. Then World War II arrived. Carpenter joined the U.S. Army in 1942 and trained as an artillery liaison pilot. He earned his wings flying light observation aircraft, planes designed not for combat but for seeing. By 1944, he was a major flying with the 4th Armored Division under General George Patton's 3rd Army. His mission was simple on paper and terrifying in reality. Fly low over enemy territory, identify German positions, radio coordinates back so American artillery could fire accurately. These planes were slow, they were fragile, they had no armor and no weapons. Enemy infantry, machine guns, and tanks could see them clearly and reach them easily. Early in the campaign, Carpenter noticed something disturbing. German tank crews didn't fear him. They recognized the Grasshopper. They knew it carried no guns. Some ignored it entirely. They understood it could call in artillery, but they didn't see it as an immediate threat. Carpenter decided that had to change. So he improvised. Working with ordnance personnel and mechanics, he had bazookas mounted under the wing struts of his L-4. First 2, then 4, eventually 6, 3 on each wing. He wired them so he could fire from the cockpit. There were no sights, no safety systems, no official approval. He named the plane Rosie the Rocketer, a tribute to the women building war machines back home. Then he taught himself how to attack tanks. Carpenter flew directly at armored vehicles, lining up his aircraft with the target. He aimed for the thinner armor on top and behind the turret. He fired the rockets one at a time or in short bursts, then pulled up hard and escaped just above the treetops. It was reckless. It was dangerous. It shouldn't have worked. But it did. In September 1944, during the Battle of Aricourt, one of the largest armored engagements on the Western Front, Carpenter flew repeated sorties against German tank formations. In one series of attacks, he fired 16 rockets in a single day, disabling tanks and armored vehicles, breaking up an enemy advance, and buying time for American units to reposition. He attacked columns head-on. He forced crews to abandon vehicles. He turned a plane meant for observation into a psychological weapon. German forces began firing at every low-flying grasshopper they saw. American troops cheered when his plane appeared. That's when the nickname spread. Bazooka Charlie. By war's end, Carpenter was officially credited with destroying or disabling 6 German tanks. Some accounts suggest the number may have been higher. Either way, it earned him the rare distinction of a tank ace, something unheard of for a pilot flying an unarmored observation aircraft. He was awarded the Silver Star with Oak, Leaf Cluster, the Bronze Star, and multiple air medals, all earned in a plane never meant to fight. Carpenter didn't just add weapons to a plane. He changed the battlefield logic of the war. By turning a harmless-looking observation aircraft into an unexpected anti-tank weapon, he shattered German assumptions about what was dangerous and what was not. Tanks that once advanced confidently now had to stop, scatter, or button up when a grasshopper appeared overhead. Even when his rockets didn't destroy a vehicle outright, they disrupted formations, slowed counterattacks, and bought precious time for Allied artillery and infantry to respond. In a war defined by mass production and overwhelming force, Carpenter proved that ingenuity, surprise, and improvisation could neutralize some of the enemy's most powerful machines. It was asymmetric warfare before the term existed. a lesson that would echo through later conflicts and foreshadow modern drone combat. But the war took its toll. In 1945, Carpenter was grounded not by enemy fire, but by illness. He was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, a life-threatening cancer. Doctors gave him little hope of long-term survival. He proved them wrong. Discharged from the Army in 1946, Carpenter returned home. He rebuilt his life. He went back to teaching. At Moline High School and later in Urbana, he taught history and civics. He graded papers. He coached students. He stood at the front of classrooms filled with teenagers who had no idea that the quiet man before them had once flown directly at German tanks with homemade weapons bolted to his wings. Some students eventually learned the truth. Many never did. In summers, Carpenter ran a boys' outdoor skills camp, teaching leadership, self-reliance, and character, lessons shaped by war but delivered quietly. Charles Carpenter died in 1966 at just 53 years old, his health worn down by illness and years of strain. His story doesn't end with a statue or a movie. It ends in a classroom, a reminder that some of the most extraordinary people in history don't look extraordinary at all. Sometimes they're just your beloved history teacher who never bothered to tell you that they had once changed the course of a war.